We're going to discuss how to appeal an SBA PPP forgiveness application that was denied. The first step is you're going to want to confirm who denied your application. Was it the SBA or was it your lender? If your lender denied your application, you may not have appeal rights and you'll have to go consult with the lender and find out the reasons why. If it was the SBA, then you should have received an SBA final decision letter and there'll be a date on that letter. You're going to want to reply and submit an appeal within 30 days. And if you don't, then you might lose your appeal rights and you might have to repay the full amount of the PPP loan. So let's kind of look at the letter. If you examine the letter, there'll be a section on page 1 that's indented and in bold, and it'll provide the reasons that the SBA denied your forgiveness application. Really important to understand what the issues involved and what the facts that the SBA is raising, legal arguments, understand why they're rejecting the forgiveness application. Your obligation and your duty when you file an appeal is that you have to show the SBA was clearly erroneous in denying your forgiveness application. So you're going to have to then conduct some research and provide some legal arguments that counter SBA's arguments and facts, and most important, evidence. Evidence is going to be really critical to support your facts and your appeal. So you can do some research. SBA has what they call the OHA, Office of Hearing and Appeals. This is a division that hears the appeals. They do publish prior opinions that might relate to your case. Maybe they don't. I definitely recommend reviewing those. Obviously, I even recommend hiring a qualified attorney to make sure that you're putting the most successful appeal together, because it gets really expensive if you lose this process and you have to file something with the federal district court. So a lot of rules and regulations involved, but if you want to do some research, you can research OHA's website. They'll have prior opinions. You'll do some keyword searches to find out if some of the other cases involve the same issues. You can also look at the CARES Act. The CARES Act provides the general authority for SBA to issue these PPP loans, and also provide the limitations and really the qualifications for which companies qualify for the loan and also for forgiveness. Beyond that, you'll have the Code of Federal Regulations, another body of law that SBA has published, and that will provide some clarifications as to what companies were eligible or not eligible for the loan and for forgiveness. And then you also have SBA's operating procedures, provides even additional clarity. So there's a lot of authority to really look at, and most important, make sure you got the right legal issue and that you're putting together you have to have authority to show that the SBA was wrong. It was clearly erroneous. You'll have to have your facts clearly understood. Not, you don't want to ramble on forever. And the appeal has to be less than 20 pages. Well, 20 pages or less. You have to make sure you provide legal authority and evidence to support your arguments, as well as the SBA's final decision letter. That has to be part of your appeal. If you don't provide that, you potentially can have your case dismissed and waive your rights to appeal. So really important, a lot of regulations. I hope this information was valuable, but just understand there's a lot involved here. You want to hire a qualified attorney. The information we're providing today, it's just really general in nature. It's not intended to be legal advice or to create any type of attorney-client privilege, but just to give you an idea of what's involved. And also, one more thing before I forget, after you file your appeal, or when you go, you'll have to go onto SBA's online portal to create an account where you can log in and then upload your appeal. That's at appeals.sba.gov. You're going to have a legal representative that you identify, because remember, this isn't a personal loan, it's a business loan, and so you're going to have somebody who represents the company. Only 1 of 3 people can legally represent the company, either a shareholder owner, an officer, or an attorney. CPAs are not legally entitled or allowed to represent companies in this SBA appeal process. Neither is your lender, and neither is a general employee. So make sure you have that correct. Also, when you go through the process, there's other questions involved in that online portal process when you're creating your account. Upload your SBA appeal, your decision letter, and any evidence you have, and hit the submit button. It has to be done within 30 days, all of that. And then might want to give a copy of your appeal to your lender. They'll then potentially defer your loan repayment for the PPP loan until the SBA makes a final decision. SBA will make a decision at some point. I would recommend several times a week logging into your online portal with SBA and seeing if there's any notices or messages, maybe requirements that you have to respond to. You don't want to miss any deadlines. It's really important to respond timely and not to miss any of those deadlines. And after that, SBA will make a decision. If you lose and your appeal is denied, you can request a reconsideration of the decision, and if that's denied, then you'll have to file a case in the federal district court, and so that's where it gets expensive. A lot of attorney's fees, a lot of regulations, there's discovery, a lot of stuff going on. So make sure you take the proper time and invest in hiring an attorney who's qualified, understand what those legal arguments are, provide the best evidence that you have, and so that you'll succeed in the appeal process. I'm John Milikowski, founder of Milikowski Tax Law. We keep businesses in business.